last year. So let's give the Countdown crew a raise. Or not. Enjoy this relatively quiet time. Go fishing, play golf, because in a few weeks, it's on like Donkey Kong again. Here's another great idea. Take your car down to Woody Anderson Ford to get it serviced. That's right, Woody Anderson Ford can take care of your vehicle no matter what the make or model of that vehicle is. They'll get it done right. They'll get it done in a timely fashion. It's Woody Anderson Ford. Make an appointment today.
Listen for Thom Abraham throughout the day on 97.7 The Zone.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
The famous goal line stand, one of the most celebrated moments in Alabama sports history. The Tide was leading the 1979 Sugar Bowl when Penn State moved the ball to within 10 inches of the goal line. Barry Krause and Marty Lyons leaped over the pile to stop Nittany Lions running back Mike Gooman and preserve the Tide's victory. The win handed Coach Paul Bear Bryant his 5th national championship.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
Olympian Jesse Owens dominated the 1936 Olympics with 4 track and field gold medals in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the long jump, and the 4x100-meter relay. The Lawrence County native dominated track and field from a young age. While in college at the Big Ten Championships, Owens set 3 world records and tied a 4th in less than 1 hour. Owens is widely remembered as the nation's greatest Olympian.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
Get your college football fix all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show. The king of college football brings you 2 hours of live and local college football talk throughout the year with the biggest experts from across the nation and exclusive interviews with the coaches and players you want to hear from. It's the college football talk you deserve on the Chuck Oliver Show.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me weekdays at noon.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.
Alabama!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, live on ESPN TV, the men's semifinals at Wimbledon. Matteo Berrettini leading Hubie Hurkacz 2-1. The other semi coming up, Novak Djokovic, Denis Shapovalov. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not worried, even as his Bucks teammate Drew Holiday continues to struggle in the NBA Finals against the Suns. Holiday 11 for 35, 27 points total in the finals. Giannis's message to Holiday for Game 3, stay aggressive, added he knows Holiday will be there when they need him the most. Former Wizards coach Scott Brooks finalized a deal with Portland to be Chauncey Billups' top assistant, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
Hiring can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But when you post a job on ZipRecruiter, their matching technology finds these qualified candidates for you and invites them to apply. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Another line of scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to push through the Tennessee Valley during the course of the afternoon. Looks like the best opportunity for any heavy rain or even thunderstorms is going to be north of the Tennessee River. Temperatures hanging out in the mid-upper 80s, only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny for your Saturday, temperatures hanging out in the mid-upper 80s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny for your Sunday, temperatures in the mid-upper 80s with, you guessed it, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
More intense than a Nick Saban press conference.
You sure you want to ask?
Your home of ESPN Radio. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Can't assume anything. I don't even know what you asked me, but I just wanted to say that.
You want coffee? Anybody want coffee?
Tom, can you get me a dog type thing? The tire's tired.
He ain't good looking, but he sure ain't shy. He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today. Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here, am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Football Friday in the Doghouse. And you know what Football Friday means? It means football music. That means we get to party like 1970. This is like throwback uniforms for your ears. How does that not get you stoked, man? If you think I can't keep my head still, all you got to do is check it out on all the video streams and check that out. Chad playing the air guitar. Can't even stop smiling. And all I keep seeing is coming soon on the stream. I want to see it. I want to see it now. Chad's got the white man overbite going. Phone line's going to be open throughout the show. 256-5764-97.7. Great way to communicate with the show the good old-fashioned way. Call the show. Chad's making me laugh. We got your digital doghouse for you as well. That's our Twitter feed at Thom Abraham Show, and on the Facebook. It's Thom Abraham. Oh, I made it all the way to the end. Bang, we hit the whole thing. Holy mackerels. Killed the whole deal right there. I mean, that was surprising to me. All right, at Thom Abraham Show on Twitter and Facebook. Text window is 732-9TA show, 732-982-7469. That will get you into the show as well. The Zone is on the Twitter and the Twitch and the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, online at 97.7ESPN.com. And don't forget the app. You got to get the app as well. And our YouTube page is at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Like and subscribe to that. Hit that little notification bell as well. Now, if you go to 97.7ESPN.com, you are going to find a link to our zone deals where Metro Diner went up again this morning, and it is flying off the shelves. So you want to go there and snag some Metro Diner. The boys broadcast from Metro Diner this morning. They're still there stuffing their faces, I think. Maybe not. But that's really, really cool, the Metro Diner. I got to get in there. I've been to the Metro Diner, but it's been a long time. Their Metro Diners in Alabama, Tennessee. But let me tell you something. Check that Metro Diner out. I mean, that is an excellent, excellent deal. You're going to want to take advantage of that deal. I do have a poll question up at the Tom Abraham Show Twitter feed about what you may be watching this weekend if you are watching anything. I just put it up a little while ago. I don't know, maybe an hour ago is when I put it up there. And you guys have been responding to it pretty good. The question is, if you're watching anything, what are you watching? And if you had to pick something, the options are Major League Baseball, which is the last weekend before the All-Star break. And, the All-Star break has been expanded now. It goes all the way. I don't know if they pick up again on Thursday or Friday. But Major League Baseball, whatever your team is, if you're a Braves fan, if you're a Yankees fan, if you're a Red Sox fan, whatever your teams are that you're watching. Are you watching Major League Baseball this weekend? Are you watching the Euro final between England and Italy, which Italy will win? So are you watching that? Another option is, and that one's getting the least amount of love right now. Are you watching NASCAR? Now, I know some people say, NASCAR's kind of tough to watch, and at this point in time, I'm still a NASCAR fan. So the question is, are you watching NASCAR or the NBA Finals? Now, what I'm looking at, for some reason, it's different when I'm looking at than what Grizz is looking at, I think. I'm looking at the results right now. 33% of you are saying NBA Finals. 28% are saying NASCAR and MLB, and 9.5% are saying the Euro Soccer Final. So I don't know. I'm not sure why it's different, but you can check that out. Now, if I had 5 slots, I'd have put up there the Bassmaster live coverage on FS1 tomorrow and Sunday morning. That's what I would have put up there as well, to see how many of you are going to watch it. I know I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it tomorrow. I'll watch it on tape delay because I'm doing a project. I'm renovating a hallway in my 100-year-old house, and we pulled the wallpaper down and put up a chair rail, and it's like 15-foot high ceiling. So if I die, you'll know why I'm not here on Monday if I die. I got to go up there and do it. I've been resisting it. I got the sander on a pole, and I have a ladder. I've got one of those ladders that has adjustable legs, so I'm going to put one end on the landing and then the other end up on the steps somewhere. And then and I don't like heights. I have vertigo, and I battle vertigo. It comes and goes. And I'm not a fan of heights anyway. So I will go up on the ladder, though, with my sander on a stick, and I will sand the area, the tallest areas, which are like 14 or 15 feet off the ground. It's high. It's high for me. And then we'll sand all the rest of it, and then we'll paint it, and it'll be fine. But it's old house, so I mean it's like that plaster over bats over plaster type stuff. I asked my wife, I said, "You want to texture it?" I said, "There's no way we're wallpapering it. We'd have to have like that skinny. We'd have to have skinny. What do you call it? Scaffolding to do that. We'd have to have skinny scaffolding, hallway scaffolding to do that, to get up there and wallpaper. So I ain't gonna do that, and I don't want to do it anyway. But you could texture it. I don't know. I might have to get advice from Grumpy. What I should do is hire somebody. But my wife thinks it's charming that we do this stuff ourselves. I should hire somebody. The other thing that I didn't put on there that I could have put on there, or I should have put on there maybe, is the McGregor fight. Are you going to watch the McGregor-Poirier fight? Anybody buying that? You're going to watch that fight. Now, by now, I'm sure you have heard that the Tyson Fury-Deontay Wilder fight has been postponed since Fury got COVID. How in the heck was he not vaccinated? How the heck was it? It wasn't just him. It's like everybody in the trainers, his whole team, they got COVID. COVID. How in the heck are they not all vaccinated? Knucklehead. Anyway, now the fight's probably October before they fight. They're talking about like October 9th before they fight. Ridiculous. Today, off the top of the show, NFL insider Brent Sobleski from the Bleacher Report will join us. Camps are now just around the corner. Mike Tannenbaum says that if the Browns sign Baker Mayfield long-term, they are committing to mediocrity. Wow. He said they did that when he was the Jets GM with Chad Pennington. Wow. Baker Mayfield is Chad Pennington? And Dan Orlovsky said that if Jalen Hurts plays as well as he can possibly play, that he can't sniff how good Carson Wentz is. So there's that. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, was trained well in the diva department by Brett Favre as he continues to evade questions about his future. At the top of the 11, Allan Bell Jr. from CBS Sportsline will join us. We're going to take a look at the win totals in the SEC, and we're going to make the predictions on the teams we care about, and we're going to take a look at win totals in the NFL, and we're going to predict the ones that we care about there, too. How about Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, putting up 42 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks last night? I mean, dude was, 15 of 22 from the field, 14 of 17 inside the arc, and 11 of 18 on the free throw line, which for Giannis is fantastic. But it wasn't enough. The rest of the Bucks struggled, and the Suns got the win for a 2-0 lead in the series. And don't buy that whole, it ain't over till the road team wins a game bet. It's over. Over 82% of the time. When the home team goes up 2-0, done. The higher seed goes up 2-0, done. Only 4 times in history has a team lost the first 2 games of an NBA final and came back to win. The 1969 Celtics, the 1977 Blazers, the 2006 Heat, led by Dwayne Wade and the Big Diesel. And, of course, the Cavs did it in 2016. Remember 3-1, the collapse of the Warriors. Done. A thought on the ratings for that as well. But I got to get my little buddy, I got to get Gilligan introduced over here. He's over there in that glass room. He's playing the platters that matter, the stacks of wax. Living large on a Friday.
In the blue hell are you? I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a polish. Brilliant!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good time roll.
Someone call someone, because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Oh, it is not. It's not. Well, you got a Huntsville Havoc shirt on today. It looks like you got a Huntsville Havoc polo on today, Grizz. Is that right?
Yes, I am rocking the one that Billy himself, great longtime manager of the Huntsville Havoc, supplied me with
nice.
So many years ago before I joined 97.7 ESPN, and it was a fun year of being able to act as an equipment manager of sorts, basically just doing everything that Billy told me to do. And
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
Did I know you did that? Maybe you told me.
I probably told you that. You don't listen. You
You didn't tape sticks. The dudes tape their own sticks.
Well,
right?
dudes would tape their own sticks. But Mark one of the guys that helps Billy as well, kind of an older guy, but he knows like ins and outs of everybody's stick. You know what I mean? So like he would cut them, and he actually taught me a few times how to cut them and make them the right lengths for the guys and wrap them the way they want and everything like that. I'd never done that because I never played hockey in my entire life, so it was all new to me. So, but it was fun to be around because the year before I'd gotten to hang out with the last year of the Hammers. So I just wanted to be around football.
Oh, you worked for the Hammers too?
Yeah, I just wanted to be around football.
That's cool. I did their games for a year.
Yeah, no, Coach Sharp, Scooby, before he had to kind of retire.
Uniforms. Actually, I actually liked their uniforms quite a bit. I
thought they had some pretty good uniforms, but I think that like the heyday was when it was the Vipers, and it was just everybody knows that, and it just the product wasn't there, but it was definitely something that I enjoyed, and I was around football, and I got to learn from some of the coaches, and it was a lot of fun. So I owe Coach Sharp, if he's listening, appreciate that again.
Now, in the randomness department, you notice that the video seems a lot smoother today?
I think it's the camera. I think it's the camera, to be honest with you.
You look a little yellow. You look a little peaked.
It's the room, and I don't know how to change this camera. Until I can find some settings on this camera, I don't know what I'm doing.
But I'm talking about the whole video is smoother. Even I look smoother. I don't look like I'm on the moon.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. I think it's literally this camera. I think that other camera was in Logitech may have been pushing it a little too hard.
Oh.
And it's a 1080 camera, but it can't run at 1080. So it's like, you're pushing so much, and it's only 720, and it
technical
can
gear.
Bad,
technical talk there, Red. Logitech. What's weird too is I'm looking at it on the Twitch, and one of my desktop computer can be seen in the background, which is weird because on the desktop computer I have the Twitch.
I see.
So look at that. You see, there it is.
Yeah, see it 4 times.
You see me, and then on that you could see it again and again and again and again. If you could zoom in on it,
it's like going downhill.
It's kind of weird. Grumpy says my advice is to wear your Alabama football helmet while using that sander on a stick. I don't have an Alabama football helmet, okay? I don't have. I have Alabama mini helmets. Okay, you could see over there in the studio. Oh,
I'm surprised this camera's working well as it is.
Yeah,
here we go.
Can see that over there. There's Alabama mini helmet in front of Bear Bryant. You see Bear Bryant there on the shelf behind my chair. All right, there's Bear Bryant, and then that's the. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm moving my hand too much. And then that's the Alabama shelf right there. And then right above that one is the Browns shelf, and there's Browns mini helmets right there. And then up there are mini helmets, Grizz. Those mini helmets up there are from teams that I broadcast back in the day. So there's Middle Tennessee. There's the Iron up there, and then there's 2 Viper helmets up there on the right. You can't see them real good, but there are 2 Viper helmets up there on the right. A Middle Tennessee helmet from when I did the Blue Raiders, and then on the left, all the way next to the bottle of bourbon there, the single barrel malt. Next to that is the the Birmingham Iron. So there you go.
I was running my cursor along the screen so everybody could see what you were talking about.
I could see that. I could see that
you were
doing
off.
it.
It was a little off.
Yeah, not bad.
It's because of Zoom. It's the
so
Zoom
there.
call.
So that's why people need to watch the thing. I don't have an Alabama helmet.
Well, we've got plenty of local high school helmets over here if you need any of them.
Those are good. Maybe
I think the one that's padded the best and the most, like they gave us a legit helmet. They might need it back as Grissom.
Is he saying that to keep the dust out of my head, or is he saying that in case I fall off the ladder? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Either or. I think you should always wear a helmet when you're on a ladder, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Because ladders can just be 4 foot, 8 foot, 16 foot. They don't play.
A ladder jack and a 2x12 will make your life a lot better in a staircase. Much experience in this situation, the Chubby Ninja. A ladder jack and a 2x12. Listen, the 2x12 is not holding me, okay? Unless the ladder jack, unless the 2 spots are closed. Now, what does he mean by a ladder jack? I've been around the horn a minute or two, and I don't know that I know that term. Now, I have taken 2 ladders and run a board before, and I have 2 ladders where I could put them in 2 different positions possibly and run a board. I'm just saying the 2x12 would be very springy for me, unless I could get the things close together. I mean, there's a lot of me that's hanging over the 12. I'm just, you know what I mean? Now, the Junkyard Babe has no fear of heights. She's a whack job when it comes to that. She has no fear of heights, and she's a ninja. Yeah. All right? She is, she's very nimble and is a ninja. So, but I'm not putting her up there. I'm not going to do that.
No, you can't hurt. You can't hurt that one.
No, I'm not going to put her up there. I mean, even though she's like, "Well, I'll go up there. I'll go up here. Put up 2 ladders and a board, and I'll go up there." And I'm like, "No, I will do it." You know, he's saying for not if you fall, when you fall. I don't even know. Grumpy, what is that sentence? This is the sentence he wrote.
Not for you.
Not fall. If you fall, when you fall. I don't even know what that sentence means. I'm not sure what he is saying there. Kramer is in. He says, meeting over quick today. Finally in the show. Buffalo Bills win-loss record 14-3. You're out of your mind.
14-3.
14-3. You're out of your mind.
Mac Jones is going to be starting week 5, week 6. You're not going to win that many games when he starts.
Mac Jones, I don't think, is beating the Bills. What is the over-under for the Bills? Let me see. The Bills are at 10.5. So 10.5 is the over-under for the Bills. We'll ask. We'll get the opinion of Allan Bell Jr. on that. Over-under 10.5. I would go over on the 10.5. I think they're an 11 or 12 win team. That's the thing that's messing up these over-unders, Grizz, is that it's a 17-game season. Yeah. So I looked at the Browns at 10, and I'm like, well, that's reasonable. 10, 10-6, maybe. Well, 10-7? No. No. They were 11-5 last year, and now they're going to get another game? Browns are going to win 12 games. Titans 9.5 in a 17-game season. 9.5
in that division. Who knows with that division? To be honest with you, I mean, who knows? Because the Colts could be better, which I don't know. I don't think they are, but Jacksonville.
I think they're better.
Jacksonville might be a little.
I don't
bit
know
better.
that they're better, but yeah.
Yeah.
They had a hard. Falcons are 7, so 7-10. 7-10.
They might win 8.
9? 8, 9?
They might win 8. I'm a realist, okay, when it comes to the Falcons.
They could win 8 or 9. I think 7 is low in a 17-game season. The 17-game season is going to throw a lot of people off on this deal. I think the 17-game season is weird. All right, speaking of 17-game 7, Brent Sobleski. He is up next. He's going to join us, NFL Insider from the Bleacher Report. It's coming up next right here. Football Friday in the Doghouse. The Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN this hour.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This Action Update is brought to you by Keeps. Tired of losing your hair? Get 50% off for your first order at Keeps.com/VSiN. Keeps.com/VSiN.
The Suns lead the NBA Finals 2-0 over the Bucks. The series moves to Milwaukee for Game 3 on Sunday night. The Bucks a 4-point favorite at home. The over/under 222. Conor McGregor versus Justin Poirier. Part 3 is the main event of UFC 264 tomorrow. Poirier comes in the favorite at -120. McGregor +100. Also on the main card, the welterweight bout between Gilbert Burns at +140 and Stephen Thompson at -170. The final weekend before the All-Star break, the Braves at the Marlins. Charlie Morton starting for Atlanta in Game 1. Zach Thompson for the Marlins. Braves -135 on the money line. Marlins +115. The over/under 7.5.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Braves baseball is celebrating 150 years, and this 2021 team is looking to kick down the door and make this season one for the history books.
Swing and a fly ball hit deep toward their bullpen. Are you kidding me? Another pinch hit homer.
Your new home of the Atlanta Braves.
Hit high in the air to deep right center field. We are tied!
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Have you got your tickets yet? Single game tickets for the Rocket City Trash Pandas full season are still available. Every Friday and Saturday night at Toyota Field ends with fireworks, and after the completion of every Sunday game, kids get to run the bases. You can reserve your spot at Toyota Field for any of the remaining Trash Pandas home games right now. Go to TrashPandasBaseball.com to get your tickets while supplies last. Trash Pandas Baseball. Ignite the season.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Another line of scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to push through the Tennessee Valley during the course of the afternoon. Looks like the best opportunity for any heavy rain or even thunderstorms is going to be north of the Tennessee River. Temperatures hanging out in the mid-upper 80s, only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny for your Saturday, temperatures hanging out in the mid-upper 80s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny for your Sunday, temperatures in the mid-upper 80s with, you guessed it, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now that's good football music right there. I could never get Joe Hunk to play it on a football Friday if it wasn't during the football season. But there ain't no off season in football. I mean, come on. We are now right around the corner, really, from the camps opening up. I mean, it's going to be happening quickly here with the camps opening up. And joining us now to talk about it from the Bleacher Report, NFL insider Brent Sobleski. Sobo, welcome back. How are you? I don't know if Sobo can hear me. You there? All right. Brent, you there? Come on, Brent.
Yes, sir.
Ah, there he is. All right, now I got Brent. All right. Brent, welcome
we
in, man.
We're off air talking about Loki. You know, the more important things about our conversation every Friday.
Is that the alligator that has horns or something like that? Is that part of that show or what?
One of them, yes, correct. We were actually discussing that in the show there's now canon that the issues of Thor from the mid-'80s where Loki turned him into a frog is now canon in the MCU. So spoilers,
wow.
But it's just a small little thing that shows up for fans. It's awesome to see. Much like if you go to Avengers Endgame and you can spot Howard the Duck in that movie if you haven't already.
Really? You see, you're a movie geek and a wrestling geek. You get into all of that. It's a little bit of a technology geek, maybe. Can you explain the attraction to these NFT things that's catching everybody by storm? Now, look, I'm a guy that never really collected. Oh, I take that back. I did collect playing cards. You know what I mean? Player cards and stuff like as a kid, and football cards, baseball cards, things like that, just for the sake of the cards, not as an investment. But I never understood the value of a piece of cardboard with a picture of Mickey Mantle on it. It just never made any sense to me. What makes even less sense is this NFT stuff. Do you understand why the hell these things people are having bids and everything else for, Lou Gehrig's speech, which I can find on Google in 10 seconds? I don't get it.
Well, a lot of it's due to scarcity. And what's funny about me coming in talking about Loki and comic books is I see a corollary there. And when you look at the card market, when you look at the comic book market, and now you have these non-fungible tokens, what makes them valuable is the scarcity of certain objects, whether it be, to give you the most obvious example from a comic book, Action Comics #1, the first appearance of Superman. The reason it's worth millions upon millions of dollars isn't necessarily because it's the first appearance of Superman. It's also because it's almost impossible to find. It's almost like the Honus Wagner of baseball cards. And so with non-fungible tokens, what makes them unique is they have individual ISB numbers to each. So if you find one of the rare ones, you are one of the only people in the world that have those. It's essentially online cards, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of them. And what I see is, having lived through that boom in the 90s with cards and comics, is people are consistently looking to get ahead of the curve. You know, they're trying to take advantage of the market, and eventually it bottoms out. And so, to use, again, go back to the comic book market at the moment, if anyone who collects just for the books, anytime there's an appearance in any of these shows or movies, those books skyrocket because speculators are trying to make a quick buck on them. I think a lot of ways we're going to see that with NFTs moving forward, that there's a huge boom for them now, but long term, they're going to hold that same value. A few will, but not to what we've seen at this extent.
Yeah, one of my sons collects the comic books. He's 23 years old, and he's got a collection of stuff, and he says they're valuable. And then my youngest son, he collects these pops, and he gets them, and he buys them, and he has them, and then he sells them on eBay and stuff for like $80, $90, and now he started collecting Matchbox cars. And he found one the other day at like Target or something that he identified. He bought it for like $1, something like that, and he says, I can sell this online right now for $75. This was a rare one that I found for $1 at the Target or some place that he was shopping in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I mean, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I look at it and say, it's a Matchbox car, for God's sakes.
Well, that's it again. It's scarcity. It's demand and not having the product available. So if you are happy to stumble across something along those lines, then you have something that's valuable to other people willing to pay. And that's really all of what it comes down to. And so now when you have these NFTs coming in, it's the same type of market. It's the same type of market that you see with Pokemon cards, where you have people waiting in line in Target, as an example, for hours just to get their latest shipment.
Crazy.
We've seen stores actually pull those cards because of those reasons. And so if the market bears it, then that's what it will hold. But at the same time, I'm not necessarily sure there's long-term investment in those objects like we've seen with others over the years.
We're going to talk in the next hour with my buddy Allan Bell from CBS Sportsline about over-unders, NFL win totals. But I just want to get a quick take from you. This 17-game thing is kind of messing with people's heads, I think, because I look at the Titans, for example, 9.5, and my immediate mindset was 9-7, 10-6, right? Because you're thinking it's going to take a long time to get the 16-game math out of our head. And I thought 9.5, that seems a hair low. But then I thought, wait a minute, in a 17-game season, you're telling me they're a 9-8 team or a 10-7 team? I think they're over that, but just the whole idea of 17 games, it kind of screws with our mindset for these win totals.
Absolutely. And I'll imagine writing about the league every day and then forgetting that you can't put 10-6, 9-7 anymore. I can't guarantee this, Tom. There will be no 500 teams this year. Not a single one.
Won't. That is a good point. Now, the Bills are 10.5, and one of our listeners that's a big Bills fan, he's like, the Bills are going to be 14-3 this year. I'm like, 14-3? That doesn't even sound right. Okay, but I don't think they're 14-3. I think they're over 10.5, though. I mean, for the Bills to say that the Bills are either 10-7 or 11-6, I can't even say it, 11-6 or 10-7, I think they're over both of those numbers.
Well, looking at it, I think there's 4 definitive teams at the top of the AFC. I include Tennessee. After the Julio Jones move, I think they're good enough to compete consistently. You have Derrick Henry, you have Ryan Tannehill, now Julio Jones to go alongside A.J. Brown, and a defense that should be better. When you add Bud Dupree, you add more names to your secondary, and they should have enough on that side of the ball. But they should be right there alongside Buffalo, Cleveland, Kansas City. So if I'm looking at those 4 squads, to me there's a slight drop-off after them. I'm not saying it's a great drop-off, but I think that those are the top 4 teams, and if you're looking at them from a betting perspective, anything over 10 wins should be in their favor, especially with the expanded play or regular season schedule.
Well, they have the Ravens at 11, so they have the Ravens ahead of the Browns in terms of a full game, in terms of win-loss, and I think that's a fascinating thing. We're going to continue to watch, the career of Lamar Jackson and that arc, and the career of Baker Mayfield. My sense is that Lamar Jackson's high watermark was 2 years ago, and that Baker Mayfield hasn't reached his potential yet, I think.
Well, the argument I would make is this, Tom, when I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm not trying to deny their potential, but what I'm looking at is where they have issues with a week this year, because they've almost completely rebuilt their offensive line. You have coming back on left tackle Ronnie Stanley, which should be a positive after a major injury. Bradley Bozeman's going from left guard to center. You potentially have a rookie at left guard in Ben Cleveland. You went out and got Kevin Zeitler, who's coming off of one of his worst years in his career as an aging veteran, and you also signed another aging veteran in Alejandro Villanueva to take over right tackle after trading Orlando Brown. Are you going to be as good in the trenches? And that's important with that offense. And I'm not denying how talented Lamar Jackson is, Tom. You know how much of a supporter I've been of his all the way through this process dating back to Louisville. But when you don't have that protection up front, when you're not opening those holes like you normally would or had been in previous seasons, you can see them taking a step back on that side of the ball. Then furthermore, when you're looking on their defensive side, how are they going to generate a pass rush beyond Calais Campbell, right? You lost your top two edge rushers in free agency in Judon and Yannick Ngakoue. You re-signed Tyus Bowser to a rather significant contract extension, but he hasn't been that guy yet through his first few seasons. Then you go out and draft a defensive end in the first round, and Owe, who had 0 sacks last year at Penn State. So are you going to be able to generate pressure on that side of the ball to allow your top-flight secondary to really capitalize on what they do best?
Brent Sobleski with us from the Bleacher Report, talking some NFL. Mike Tannenbaum went on a national TV yesterday, I think it was, and said that if the Browns sign Baker Mayfield to a long-term deal or to an extension, that they are committing to mediocrity. He said it would be the same mistake that they made at the Jets when he was the GM there with Chad Pennington. He says Baker Mayfield is Chad Pennington. Others on the panel strongly disagreed. They're committing to mediocrity if they sign that guy. I mean, they got a year to kind of see what happens this year, but I don't know how with all those weapons and that offensive line completely back intact, how that guy doesn't have a monster year.
It's absolutely asinine and a lazy take. There's no other way to beat around the bush. When your number one argument against him being mediocre is he's short, which who cares in today's game? I mean, look how many shorter quarterbacks are now excelling. That's an old, tired
an inch shorter than Brett Favre. 1 inch shorter than Brett Favre.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other argument was he's not athletic enough. Well, I'll give you a stat for you real quick, Tom. He may not be athletic enough, but he still finished in first in scramble yards per dropback last year. And to give you more numbers, and I know you've seen me tweet this multiple times because it's irking me that we continue to hear people devalue Baker Mayfield and his capabilities as a quarterback. First in completion percentage in deep passes last year. 1 of 3 quarterbacks with 8 or more grades of 80-plus QBR last year. Second highest grade from Week 7 through the playoffs. 4th and 4th quarter grade last year. Top 5 grade from clean pocket, standard dropbacks, and early downs. 8th overall grade. All that tells you he's already a top 10 quarterback. That's better than mediocre. So to go on national television and say otherwise is simply lazy.
What I like about it, though, is that Baker wears the red ass better than anybody in the league. I'm like, keep going, pile on. I mean, that's good for Baker, you know. I mean, to see that happen. Now, Dan Orlovsky made a comment about Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. He said that if Jalen Hurts played as well as Jalen Hurts could possibly play, he's still nowhere near as good as Carson Wentz, who looks like he's putting the work in with the Colts and could have a surprise big season with the Colts. He was the little girl with the curl just a couple of years ago. What do you think, though, about Jalen Hurts' best not being close to what Carson Wentz is?
Well, the little girl with the curl, when he can be very good. When he's good, he's very good, and when he's bad, he's horrid, right? Is that the old nursery rhyme goes? And that's it, right? That's the variance of talent that differentiates Wentz from Hurts. Because when I look at Carson Wentz, I agree. I think he's in the perfect situation to get back to what he was early in his career with the Philadelphia Eagles. As the former second overall pick, his raw potential and throwing capabilities and athleticism and build make him a potential top-flight quarterback. But he hasn't done so consistently, whether it be through injuries around him, injuries to himself, or so on and so forth. So that's where the variance comes in. He has a much higher ceiling than Jalen Hurts, and I don't even think that's in question. But he also has a much lower floor. I think with Jalen Hurts, you know exactly what you're getting. He's going to come in, he's going to work, he's going to give you that athleticism, he's going to work within the system as asked, and he can be that cog for the Eagles moving forward, but is he going to be good enough? And that's really the question mark, because they have put some talent around him. When you have Devontae Smith and now the pair with Jalen Reagor and your offensive line getting healthy, can he do enough not only to lead to on-field success this season, but prevent the Eagles from taking a quarterback in next year's draft? And I'm not sure that's the case, because he doesn't have that high-end upside that Carson Wentz presents.
Brent Sobleski, Bleacher Report, with us here. Aaron Rodgers playing golf again this weekend, another tournament, and enjoying his offseason. He does look to be physically fit. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's obviously been doing work. It's not like, he got real skinny or scrawny or anything. He's not a big guy anyway. Another quarterback that seems to have a little bit of success, right, without being a huge 6'5", type of specimen. What's your read now? What's your take? Because I think we're getting closer and closer to him just showing up at camp and going. That this whole thing will be over with and we'll move on.
I've continued to say it makes most sense for both of them just to play this year out and then move on. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. And it's because Aaron Rodgers is such a different cat than most other quarterbacks. He's not necessarily the guy that wants to be in the football rooms all the time, studying tape, et cetera, et cetera. He's highly intelligent. He obviously has that subdued snark that you constantly see from him. I thought he took a nice little shot at his coaches during the match, for those who watched, which was an amazing event, when he said that basically overworking doesn't present intelligence. So to me, it's basically a matter of principle at this point if he's willing to bend, because he's stated publicly that he felt he hasn't been treated right, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, and that the team didn't do things the right way, which he deserves as a franchise quarterback. And I don't think he's wrong. Now, people don't want to hear that, but when you look around the rest of the league and you see how Tom Brady's treated, you see how, the other franchises are trying to acquiesce to those guys that are elite quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that same setup in Green Bay. And they haven't given him a new contract. They haven't brought in high-end talent at his skill positions, and on top of it, they don't even include him in the decision-making process. I'm not saying he should be the voice that makes decisions, but at least let him know what's going on. They haven't even done that. So if it truly is a matter of principle, he can sit out this year easily, and I don't think he would even care, to be quite frank with you. So I do believe he'll play for them this year, but I'm really starting to waffle on this one, Tom.
If the option is the Denver Broncos, though, this isn't Peyton Manning goes to the Denver Broncos and takes them to 2 Super Bowls, right? I mean, they're not ready for that. It would seem to be that if it's the Denver Broncos, that he's further from getting to where he wants to get, other than getting away from the folks at Green Bay. It's further than winning a championship in his last couple of years here.
I will say this, if it is Denver, because that seems the most logical landing spot, that he elevates them to a top team in the AFC. Now, would I place them above the Chiefs in the AFC West? Absolutely not. So you're essentially in the same position you were as an organization without
you're a wild card team.
Yeah, you're a wild card team. But if you can catch fire during that mark, pull the Joe Flacco, and we know Aaron Rodgers is more than capable of doing so, then you have a chance. Because in Denver, obviously, you have a good defense. You're getting Von Miller back this year after not playing last season. You also are getting healthy at wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. You have the young targets there that you drafted last year. You have a first-round tight end who's potentially on the verge of breaking out. So I think it would be very similar, honestly, to Green Bay, where they're currently at. Maybe not to the top level in their conference, but they would be in that mix.
All right, final one. Taysom Hill. Is he really going to compete with Jameis Winston for the starting job? I keep hearing things out of down there that makes me think that, you know what, maybe they really do like this guy, or I don't know if they're just trying to keep the fire lit under Jameis Winston. But I mean, Jameis Winston's thrown for 19,000 yards in this league. He's 121 touchdowns. It would seem to be that he'd have to really screw up to not be the quarterback in New Orleans.
Agreed, and I'll take a step further. Name him the starter now.
I don't know why they don't. Yeah,
don't fiddle around with flip-flopping snaps during training camp and not getting your starting quarterback properly ready for the upcoming season. Jameis Winston is the guy. He should be the guy. But I will agree with you that everything that comes out of New Orleans is they really do like Taysom Hill. They like that he's a competitor, that he's a great teammate, but that doesn't necessarily make you a great quarterback. Look, I saw Taysom Hill at BYU just like everyone else, and he was an impressive young man. He obviously has the physical skill set to do some amazing things at the position, but he's not a developed passer. And anyone who watched the Saints last year knows how much he limited them when Drew Brees was hurt. And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Drew Brees was hurt way worse than we all knew at the time when his wife came out publicly, which was amazing unto itself. But if you want to have success now as the New Orleans Saints through this transition from the franchise's all-time greatest player to the next stage of where you're going as an organization, Jameis Winston is the logical solution because he's the one that can open up the entirety of your playbook. Taysom Hill can do some gadget things. He's obviously athletic. He had a high completion percentage last year, but they could not do everything that was necessary to win consistently within that offense that we've seen in New Orleans for so long. So to me, it's not even a decision. Jameis Winston should already be named QB1 in the Big Easy.
Is Drew Brees the mother bleeper that Tom Brady was talking about? You think that they stuck with? Mm-hmm. It's either Drew Brees, Jimmy Garoppolo, Tyrod Taylor in San Diego, which is the one I think it was, or Derek Carr. Who's the mother bleeper that Brady was talking about?
Well, it can't be Tyrod because the Chargers actually offered him a contract and he turned it down. So that was his choice, not their choice.
Okay.
If I'm looking at the two most likely options, it depends on which way you take the comments. Because the thing with Brady is, even when he says something of that ilk, there's always a sly smile on his face, right?
Yeah.
So there's always a little bit of joking. There's always that little bit of frat boy in him when it comes to the way he acts. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, that makes me think it's Jimmy Garoppolo, because we obviously know Tom Brady's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Then secondly, he wanted to play in San Francisco. That was reported. And finally, knowing him personally, maybe that's just a little jab he was taking at a friend of his, because let's be honest, as guys, we don't always say the nicest things to one another.
Well, he ran him out of town, too. I mean, he's already had that, so he might have had a little bit of juice towards him because Brady had a lot to do, I think, with Garoppolo getting run out of New England.
Including Robert Kraft, going to Robert Kraft, who ultimately made that decision.
That's a good point. All right, he does a great job. Brent Sobleski, Bleacher Report. Check him out at Brent Sobleski on Twitter and read his stuff at the Bleacher Report. Very, very good. Sobo, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Tom. You guys have a nice weekend.
All right, thank you. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back. Final segment of this hour. We have added a guest to the second hour after Allan Bell. I'll tell you who it is next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Our Zone deal this week is truly an award winner. Metro Diner, serving up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest priced mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. Right now, you can get $50 worth of great Metro Diner food for half price, just $25 with our Zone deal. Just log on 977ESPN.com to get yours.
Drinking coffee straight from the pot. Power move. Wearing a bathrobe to work. Power move. Switching to super fast, extra reliable internet from WOW. Power move. Switch and save with WOW Internet for just $19.99 a month. It's switching season, so make a move with our best deal of the year. Get the speed you need starting with Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, ask how to get $200 on us. Sign up at wowway.com today.
Wow.
Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. Doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortandSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Wall Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
Woody Anderson Ford, now's the time to get your vehicle serviced. Make an appointment to have it serviced down there. And if you've had any kind of issue, a collision or anything like that, they can certainly take care of that as well at Woody Anderson Ford. They do a tremendous job down there. You need to check it out. All hell broke loose at the press conference yesterday for the fight that's coming up. I didn't put that on the list for our poll question today, which is if you're going to watch anything this weekend, what are you most interested in? The NBA Finals is leading away at 31.4%, 28% to Major League Baseball, 22%, now it's almost 23% for the European Soccer Final, and only 17% for NASCAR. So NASCAR falling into the last place on that deal. I did not put Bassmaster Live with the Bassmaster Elite tournament that's going on at Lake Champlain in New York, which I'll be watching a lot of, certainly. I have it on in the studio right now as well. And I did not put the fight on there. But it got a little bit crazy, the fans getting involved and everything else, as Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier had their press conference, and they're like, it was apparently McGregor, according to the story, immediately confronted Poirier, reminding UFC fans of the man that captivated the mixed martial arts world years ago. It didn't take long before the Irishman began insulting his opponent, much to the delight of fans who broke out into chants. I'm going to go through his head, put holes in them, and take it off his shoulders. That's the goal here.
We're going to kick you in the teeth.
No, he didn't say that.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
No, that's the coach at the Lions. It's not that.
I am no celebrity. I break people's faces for money and bounce.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what it is. He's not a celebrity. Reacting to the criticism that, he's just a celebrity and not, really concerned with fighting anymore. And he says that he's not a celebrity. He's somebody that just,
I am no celebrity. I break people's faces for money and bounce.
Yes, he breaks people's faces for money and bounce. kind of like you, Grizz. Isn't that that's your motto, right? Break people's faces for money and bounce.
Shoot, he made like $500 million or whatever it was or $50 million, whatever it was on his whiskey that he had. I mean, he's got it made. He doesn't have to do anything anymore. To be honest with you,
money on the whiskey.
He made all that money on that whiskey last year, selling his company. That he's set, and I'm sure after that Pacquiao fight, he was golden.
I think you mean Mayweather
or Mayweather? Yeah, I'm sorry, not Pacquiao.
I think I want Poirier to win this fight. I wasn't sure.
That's what we had old Steve-O in the studio a couple years ago. He actually picked Poirier to win.
I think I want Poirier to win the fight. Now, I think I'm fed up with...
I think he'll kick him in the face in the second round.
I think I'm fed up with Conor McGregor, and I want Poirier to win the fight. All right, we've added Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post in Miami to the show. He'll be coming up after Allan Bell Jr. He's going to set us up for the Miami Hurricanes, who, of course, opened the season with Alabama, and talk a little NIL as NIL deals continue to come in. Of course, the Hurricanes had one of the most famous ones so far. But up next is Allan Bell Jr. We're talking SEC win totals right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Ann Adams. Ann, I understand you have some exciting news.
Yes, Wes, I do. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services was just recognized in the 30th annual Harris Poll Equitrin as the Real Estate Agency Brand of the Year and the most trusted real estate brand.
That is awesome news, Ann. Great companies in Huntsville, Alabama, winning awards is what we want. Is it a great time to list your home?
Yes, it is. The inventory is low and the market is heating up.
And I understand you're also looking for agents.
I am. We are so busy, Wes, we need agents to keep up with the demand.
Ann Adams and Rise Real Estate has been doing business in North Alabama for the last 35 years. If you want to do business with someone you can trust, she has been writing contracts since she was 9 years old. Call Ann today at 256-337-2625.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner of University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. And a quick shout out to my son, Avery Seaton, number 19. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including our all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and the sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in the Kia. Go Mustangs!
Wendy's only makes one kind of breakfast, your new favorite one. How do we do it? With fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, and flaky croissants. You know, the things your old breakfast wasn't doing. So toss that old news and its soggy eggs somewhere useful. And get to Wendy's, where the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, and honey butter chicken biscuit are just 2 for $4. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $4.
Limited time only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, live on ESPN TV, the men's semifinals at Wimbledon. Matteo Berrettini leading Hubie Hurkacz 2-1. The other semi coming up, Novak Djokovic, Denis Shapovalov. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not worried, even as his Bucks teammate Drew Holiday continues to struggle in the NBA Finals against the Suns. Holiday 11 for 35, 27 points total in the finals. Giannis's message to Holiday for Game 3, stay aggressive. Added he knows Holiday will be there when they need him the most. Former Wizards coach Scott Brooks finalized a deal with Portland to be Chauncey Billups' top assistant, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
Hiring can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But when you post a job on ZipRecruiter, their matching technology finds these qualified candidates for you and invites them to apply. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny.
When we say local, we mean local, not Birmingham.
Loser.
We are the only sports talk station in Huntsville. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got a magical glow.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. Welcome back, hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show brought to you by TOC. If you have been hurt in any way, shape, or form, whether it is via work or sports or whatever, the only place to go for you is TOC. I mean, they've been taking care of the market for well over 20 years, and, of course, they have also they take care of almost every high school in the market, along with the Alabama A&M Bulldogs and the Huntsville Havoc. So they know what they're doing, and they can take care of you as well. It is TOC Sports. By the way, I did a little research on Poirier during the break. I didn't realize he was from Louisiana. I'm all over Poirier on this thing. I hope he wins. He's from Lafayette, Louisiana, and fights out of Florida. So he's an SEC guy. All right? So, yeah, it's Poirier. I hope he knocks McGregor out again. We'll see. All right, joining us now. I don't know if he's a MMA fan or not. I'm not a big MMA guy, but this one is a big one. This one is a big one. I just watched the press conference, and now it's making me think I might end up buying a thing, and I don't want to do that. Allan Bell Jr. joins us from CBS Sportsline. AB, welcome back. How are you, man?
Big dog. Doing great, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, I don't want to buy this fight, but I'm starting to get intrigued by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. It's a decent card, like even beyond, McGregor and Poirier. You got a decent card on there. I think it'll be pretty good. I'm with you. I'm not the biggest, UFC fan in the world. I enjoy it. It's not something like, the NFL or college football that I consume like that. But,
right.
Yeah, I think if there is one to buy, this might be one of them. It should be decent.
Yeah, it should be. I'm upset that the Fury Deontay Wilder fight is off. I'm more of a boxing fan, and I'm saddened that is off. I can't get my head around the fact that Fury wasn't vaccinated, or that his team wasn't vaccinated. I'm like, what? I mean, if you're going to do something like this, you would think you'd take every precaution.
I know, man, and it's one of those things like and not none of us are getting into the vax talk or anything like that, but if you've got something huge like this, you just go ahead and do it, right? Like, you just get it done and let's fight and go. You know what I mean? I'm totally with you there.
I don't understand the political aspect of it because, my politics are right at Genghis Khan. Trump is vaccinated. His wife got vaccinated. I mean, if you're a conservative, he's the leader of the conservative band, right? And he got vaccinated. I got vaccinated. And the numbers now are rolling in, and it's just so much more that, people that are vaccinated aren't getting sick in terms of, percentage is so infinitesimal versus the people who are getting sick, even with the new variant, are unvaccinated people. I don't get it. I mean, why wouldn't you?
I'm with you. I mean, it's America. We could make barn door paint colors,
political.
Like, it's just everything happens now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely nuts. All right. I don't know if it's political to, pick win totals in the SEC. We're going to get to some NFL ones as well in a little bit, but it's interesting to look at these regular season win totals in the SEC, starting with Alabama. And the win total for Alabama is 11-5. Their non-conference schedule, including Miami, Mercer, New Mexico State. So it's not a tough non-conference schedule. But having other than Miami, I mean, I think the Miami game's a real game. Southern Miss is the other one. But they do travel to Florida. They do travel to Texas A&M. Iron Bowl is always Iron Bowl. LSU is still LSU. It's still a deal. So having said all of that, 11.5, you either got to say they're undefeated or they're going to drop a game somewhere along the line. And they're coming off an undefeated season last year.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's a smart play by the books. Are they going to go undefeated or not? And I'll say this. If I were having to bet on it, I would probably go on the under just because it is going to be such kind of a new team. I mean, there's so much talent that went to the NFL. And don't get me wrong, Alabama's going to be phenomenal. But, all it does, all it takes is one game, right? And, I mean, the SEC is pretty good outside of Alabama as well. So, I mean, you could see, a trip up against, say, Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin or something, or like you said, Texas A&M. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if Alabama goes undefeated. They're fantastic. I can't wait to see this young kid at quarterback. But, yeah, I mean, if I had to bet it, I would go under just because the odds of hitting the under seem to me a lot better, than going for another perfect season,
There was a report that Brian Harsin believes that his same philosophy at Boise State will work at Auburn, and I made a snarky remark on Twitter, yeah, sure it will, as long as he's playing the same schedule he was playing at Boise State, which, of course, got, all the fans got all up. I'm like, come on, man, don't get your shorts in a knot. It's a funny comment. That's all that is. Don't get all crazy. But then, look, they go to Penn State. They go to LSU. Or they've got Georgia. They go to Texas A&M. And they got Alabama. Tell me which one of those games they're going to win, and then I'll say that they're over the 7 wins. That's the over-under, 7 wins. So 7-5 is the Vegas expectation for them. I think, they got a shot at Penn State, but it's early in the season, early in his program. A shot at LSU. I might go over, but razor thin. You got to tell me who they beat out of Penn State, at LSU, at Texas A&M, Georgia, and Alabama.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they probably go right at 7-5. To be completely honest with you, I'm with you. I think it's razor thin. I would bet the over as well. Just kind of playing for the push and hoping that you get something kind of nice out of it. Penn State is not that great. I'm not saying it's an easy place to go into, but if they're not Ohio State, right? LSU is LSU. Don't get me wrong, but there's certainly questions there. A&M's going to be tough. Georgia's going to be brutal. Bama's going to be brutal. But I think I would play for the push, bet the over, and then probably end up right at 7-5.
Florida, that's another one. Now, their over and under is 9. It seems maybe a little light. A lot of this has to do with LSU, doesn't it? I mean, when you look at LSU, of course, they're on everybody's schedule in the West, and, of course, they always get Florida in the crossover game. So you wonder about what games that LSU is going to win. They got that Alabama game in there, and they got the Auburn game in there. So a lot of this is about LSU. Their over and under is 8.5, and a lot of people think that's way low.
For LSU?
For LSU.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to know what their quarterback situation is. I know the guys that are there, but I want to know what this situation is. I think that, they open the season against UCLA, I think, in Los Angeles against Chip Kelly.
They do. Yeah.
And, I think they're a 4-point favorite in that game. And I like them in that game because I don't trust Chip Kelly really all that much, but Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of questions there. 8.5 is a really, really interesting number. People saying that that's low, like they're going to go like way over. I don't know about that. I mean, I have nothing against Ed Orgeron, but I think the Joe Burrow season was that was the aberration, right? Like that wasn't the normal. So I want to find out more, but yeah, I don't buy into LSU as much as everybody else does. I want to figure out this quarterback situation first.
Barrett Salee at CBS Sports, he has them at 11-1. He has them winning at Alabama. He has them winning at home against Auburn and Texas A&M. He has them winning in Los Angeles. He says their only loss is at Ole Miss. He says, write it down in ink, LSU is back. They have one of the most talented offenses in the country, experienced defense, so on and so forth. No Bo Pelini. Miles Brennan will be the quarterback, and so on. 11-1. I mean, I don't know what Barrett's smoking. I think that's a little bit crazy.
I'm not betting on any 11-1. Now, again, I'm not saying LSU's going to be bad. I mean, they could come out. They got talent.
But 9 wins, 9 or 10 wins would be amazing. 11-1 would be unbelievable.
Yeah, and their one loss being Ole Miss. Like that's interesting. Don't be wrong. Ole Miss is going to be pretty good. Like they're gonna shock some people up, this year. But yeah, 11-1. I'm not putting my money on that.
He also has Georgia running the table. Now, here's the interesting thing about Georgia. You look at their schedule, all right, after week one. We'll get to week one in a second. But they've got UAB win, South Carolina win, at Vandy win, Arkansas win. Auburn is always Auburn. It's at Auburn, but they're going to be favored in that game. So go by the chalk win. Kentucky win. The cocktail party, which is a toss-up, but I could see them winning. I would make them a 3 or 4 point, 2 or 3 point favorite anyway in that game right now. Missouri win, at Tennessee win, Charleston Southern, and Georgia Tech. This is all about the Clemson game. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Do they beat Clemson or not? He has them running the table. He has them beating Clemson. The over-under is 10.5. I think over. I mean, which is a big number, 10.5 in a 12-game season. I think over. I don't know that they're going to beat Clemson, but if they do beat Clemson, they may run the table.
Yeah, they could. I agree with you. And the list that you just gave, let's just break it down to 3 games. Clemson, Auburn, and Florida, right? Like, it's going to come down to those 3. I think that they get Clemson. I think that they're a better team. Clemson obviously has a ton of questions, that they're going to have to answer. Don't get me wrong. Dabo always seems to find the next quarterback, right? Like, after Deshaun, he kind of found this kid, Trevor Lawrence. Like, they're not going to be bad, but I think Georgia's going to be a better team. I think Georgia will be better than Auburn, although, like you said, craziness happens in that game. And then it really comes down to Florida. So, I mean, I think that they win 2 of those. So, yeah, I mean, if they go even 11-1, we hit that bet. So I'm with you, man. I'm going the over.
And then there's Tennessee. Josh Heupel should be fired just because the over-under is 6. I mean, my God, it's Tennessee. That's where we're at now, 6. That's the over-under from Vegas Insider for them. And the problem is that's a legit number. Tell me that they beat Pittsburgh. If you tell me they beat Pittsburgh, I think they go over. They should beat Pittsburgh, but if they're not, I don't think they can win at Florida or Missouri. To be honest with you, I think Missouri's going to be a little underrated. I don't think they beat Ole Miss. They're going to get a mud hole stomped in them by Alabama and Georgia. They'll beat Bowling Green, Tennessee Tech, and South Carolina, Kentucky, South Alabama, and Vandy. So tell me if they beat Pittsburgh, and then and if they go 7, you throw them a parade. If they go 8, I mean, my God, it's you know how the hype will be in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah. Put the statue right next to Manning. Look,
yeah, right.
I don't. Yeah, I don't buy into it. Look, I mean, I think Tennessee and I think Josh Heupel and his staff could be good. A couple of years. I really do like him as a play caller. I like what he does with offense. But look, man, you're talking about a team that's had 25 players transfer out. Now, they've had a lot transfer in, but what all that means is that you've got a brand-new staff with brand-new players all over the place. And that offense is going to run lightning fast, which sounds good, and I'm glad that Tennessee is doing that. But the problem is that when you have no defense, like, it is going to be an insane year for that Tennessee defense, and I don't mean that in a good way at all. I don't think that they get Pittsburgh. I would bet the under on this, quite honestly. I think that, they've got an opportunity to get better. They certainly recruit, every year, but yeah, I am not buying on the over on this year. I think that there are a lot of disasters that can happen, especially with the way that offense plays and having zero defense. So yeah, that's a concern for me. I'm going under.
Allan Bell Jr. with us, 24/7 Sports and CBS Sportsline. All right, let's take a look at a couple from the NFL. How jacked up is your brain on the 17 thing? Because I look at these over and unders, and immediately I look at them in the the mindset of the Titans being 9.5 and thinking, really 9-7 or 10-6? Oh, wait a minute, you're telling me 9.5 in a 17-game season, and it's after Julio Jones gets added? It seems like it's low. I don't think we're going to have much time to get used to the 17-game math, though, because I think it's going to be 18 games within a couple of years, honestly. But we'll start with the Titans. 9.5 in a 17-game season. So you're talking about 9-8 versus 10-7. It feels low.
Yeah, it does. I like that over. And we're probably looking at a 10-17, maybe 11-6. And here's the reason why. I think that their offense got better. And I think that their defense can't be any worse. So, I mean, I like it right at 10-7, 11-6. Again, it's going to be tight, but Mike Vrabel's a good coach. He usually figures out a way to steal one big win, right? And he doesn't necessarily, come off and have just those crazy dumb losses, right? Like fans got upset about the Browns blowout last year. Well, you know what? The Browns pretty damn good team, right?
Yeah.
So I think the Titans are going to be pretty much who we think that they are. I think that they should win the AFC South. So, yeah, I'll take the over on that, and it's probably right at 10-7.
The Falcons are at 7, which is 7-10, and it feels like they've been better than that the last couple of years and screwed it up. I know they lose Julio Jones, but they gain Kyle Pitts, a new coaching staff. 7-10 feels low. I mean, I think the Falcons win 8 or 9 games this year because I think the Saints back up a little bit. I think they got an excellent chance to win 8 or 9 games.
Yep, I completely agree. I think that the Falcons over 7 is one of the absolute best bets that you could make. Arthur Smith is going to come in with an offense that Falcons fans are going to absolutely love. I think Matt Ryan gets back to having an MVP-type season. You're going to see a lot of what Ryan Tannehill has done the last 2 years. Arthur Smith is a good offensive coach. And there's talent there. I know losing Julio Jones, it hurts. But if Kyle Pitts is 75% of what we think that he's going to be, you're really not going to see all that much loss, just in terms of that offense. So I'm with you. I think the Falcons take a big step up. I think just having a new staff and a young coach, just in that locker room is going to bring some nice positive energy out there too. So I'm with you, man. Over 7, lock it in all day long.
And the Cowboys at 9.5. Dak Prescott is back. Could be a sucker number. It could be not a sucker number. I mean, they may be ready to poised to have a big season. Mike McCarthy, I don't think I know that, Jerry Jones is a Mike McCarthy was my dream coach. I couldn't believe he was the last coach I'm going to hire and all this stuff. I don't know. I mean, if they had another stinker with Dak Prescott, and they are I still can't get used to the numbers. If they're an 8-9 team, okay, it just sounds stupid. But if they go 8-9 or something like that, I don't know that Mike McCarthy would survive that. But what about the 9.5 for the Cowboys? Is that a sucker number, or is that is that one that you like going over?
No, I like the under. I'm with you. And it could be, 8 wins, honestly, right? Like, I just don't – it could be 9 wins. Like, I just don't buy into the count. Look, if everything goes correct, right, like project how high that we think that this team can be. They're not 14-3, 15-2, the Chiefs or the Bucks or anybody like that. I mean, even with Dak Prescott playing at an MVP level last year, they were still barely winning games. Like, they were winning like 49-47. Their defense has a ton of work that it needs to get done. And if I'm putting money on it, like, all it takes is one small injury to Dak, and we saw what's behind him is just terrible. Alabama has a better quarterback room than the Dallas Cowboys do, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do not trust anybody behind Dak Prescott at all. And I know they got, Andy Dalton back there. I like the guy, but I'm not betting on him, to take the Cowboys. Plus, the NFC East teams, I think the Giants are going to be better. I don't believe in the Eagles really, at all. But yeah, I think Washington's going to be a solid football team. So it's not like they're just going to pounce, and just own that division completely. So yeah, I'm buying in on the under, and it could be 8 or 9 wins. But there's no way that I'm betting on the over, because even if it's a perfect season, I don't see them being that good.
And let's end with the Chiefs, because they're at the top of the table at 12. And again, I remind people, we're talking about 17 games. So 12 is 12-5. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to lose 5 games in a regular season.
Exactly.
I'm sitting there like, where are they going to lose 5 freaking football games in a regular season? I mean, they might get tripped up here and there, but it feels like they're a 14-3 type team. I think that number's actually low at 12.
I think it's incredibly low. I'm right there with you, because think about this. The Chiefs could lose 5 games, and you still push. Give me that over all day long, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that they lose 5 games this year, but if I've got that added insurance that they do, I'm going to take that all day. The Chiefs are going to be exactly the same team, that we saw beginning of last year, at the end of 2 years ago. They fixed their offensive line. They spent a ton of money to do that. And quite frankly, they didn't really need to do anything else, right? Like, that's pretty much all they needed to do. 12, I'm going to buy the over on that one. I'll pay the juice just for the insurance price of pushing at 12. Yeah, I'm with it.
Always a pleasure. Great stuff. Allan Bell Jr., CBS Sportsline and 24/7 Sports. AB, I appreciate you, man.
Big dog. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much for having me.
I don't know what it's doing out your window, Grizz, but I will tell you, out my window in my neck of the woods, it's raining like a cow pissing on a flat rock. I mean, so be careful in the listening area. I'm sure there are places where storms are rolling through, and so be careful out there. What's going on there, Grizz?
We got it's a little heavy rain. I did hear it thunder earlier. When you were talking earlier in the segment, but
was that thunder that you were hearing from outside, or thunder you were hearing from my microphone? Because it was rocking right behind me a minute ago.
No. It was definitely out our window. Yeah, it was definitely around here. I saw it earlier about 9:30 before the show. It was black on the north end of town. So I don't know. I think we got some showers coming in, and so whatever's going on today, y'all be safe. If you're going to the game tonight, make sure you're safe and dry.
Yeah, it comes in sudden. I mean,
it came in like all of a sudden too.
Road,
yeah,
and then the next thing you know, it's slamming. So you're
sitting there talking, and all of a sudden,
hydroplaning, things like that. I knew something was up because the fish in the Doghouse Studio fish tank, the fish went deep. They usually hang around the top. They like to surface feed, and they kind of hang around in there.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, my fish went deep. They went down deep, and they went around the structure and stuff that's in the tank. And I knew at that point in time, I said something bad is about to happen, because anytime my fish go deep, that's what's happening. All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, Thom D'Angelo will join us. Good friend of mine from back in the day. Palm Beach Post is who he writes for. Covers the Miami Hurricanes. We'll talk NIL and Hurricanes. Derek King says they're going to beat the living snot out of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He says they ain't even going to be close. So we'll talk to D'Angelo about that, get a take on this Hurricanes team. We'll do it next right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This action update is brought to you by Keeps. Tired of losing your hair? Get 50% off for your first order at Keeps.com/VSiN. Keeps.com/VSiN.
The final weekend before the All-Star break, the Braves at the Marlins. Charlie Morton starting for Atlanta in Game 1. Zach Thompson for the Marlins. Braves minus 135 on the money line. Marlins plus 115. The over-under 7.5. The Suns lead the NBA Finals 2-0 over the Bucks. The series moves to Milwaukee for Game 3 on Sunday night. The Bucks a 4-point favorite at home. The over-under 222. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Part 3 is the main event of UFC 264 tomorrow. Poirier comes in the favorite at minus 120. McGregor plus 100. Also on the main card, the welterweight bout between Gilbert Burns at plus 140 and Stephen Thompson at minus 170.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Atlanta Braves baseball is rolling, and this team is battling every night for the big National League wins.
1-2, swung on, hit high and deep to center. This has got a chance. Back is Quinn. He leaps up. He didn't get it. Home run.
Tonight, it's the final series before the All-Star break as the Braves kick off a big division weekend against the Miami Marlins at Marlins Ballpark. Braves Radio goes on the air at 5:55 Eastern, 4:55 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Hey friends, Eli Gold here for Environmental Comfort Systems. If you're concerned about the air quality inside your home, give my friend Rick Smith a call at Environmental Comfort Systems. Their indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of indoor air contaminants. Give the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and see how comfortable you can be. Breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com. Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Problem. You want to get in shape, but packing a bag, getting gas, and driving to a gym is an expensive hassle. Solution? See Huntsville Fitness Equipment and build your own gym. That's right. Huntsville Fitness Equipment has commercial-grade equipment at home-grade prices. They'll deliver and set it up and save you up to $500 over the competition. And with brand names like Power Plate, Life Fitness, Hoist, and Bodycraft, you'll have quality equipment that lasts. Financing is available. Quality's guaranteed. Huntsville Fitness Equipment, 7540 South Memorial Parkway or fitnesszone.com.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Another line of scattered showers and thunderstorms is going to push through the Tennessee Valley during the course of the afternoon. Looks like the best opportunity for any heavy rain or even thunderstorms is going to be north of the Tennessee River. Temperatures hanging out in the mid and upper 80s, only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny for your Saturday, temperatures hanging out in the mid and upper 80s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny for your Sunday, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s with, you guessed it, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Back in the day when the show was on in Florida, Tom D'Angelo was a regular with me. A very, very fine writer. Covered the Florida State Seminoles then for the Palm Beach Coast. Now, or Palm Beach Post, I should say. Now really covering more things around Miami, including the Hurricanes. Wrote a really interesting piece on name, image, and likeness. And, being that we are an Alabama affiliate, I felt like, after Derek King said that it wasn't even going to be close, that they're going to just pound Alabama, I thought, well, let's go down there and have a little chat with a guy that knows a little something about the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes with one of the more interesting NIL deals in the first week of this name, image, and likeness deal. And he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, Tommy D'Angelo. Tom, welcome back to the show, man. How are you?
Hi, Tom. I'm doing great. It is absolutely great to be back on. I appreciate you getting back to me.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and let's start with NIL. You wrote a really interesting piece about it. You and I are old enough, we've been around for a minute, to have seen something like this coming. Has it gone the way you thought? I mean, we saw these people that signed deals. Up here it was Milo's T signing up an Alabama player and an Auburn player, and social media posts and things like that. And then it was boom. Dan Lambert put the entire Hurricanes team on his payroll, basically, at $500 a month. Did you? What has been the surprises that you have seen so far?
I think for the most part, it's what I expected. A lot of local businesses hooking up with their local athletes. I love what I didn't see coming with the twins from Fresno State women's basketball players. I love the deal they signed with Boost Mobile, and flying them out to New York City and having their picture on a billboard, and they're going to make a ton of money. But I'm in my 60s. TikTok to me, I don't even know what it means. I don't know how it goes, but with their followers, they have over 3 million followers in TikTok and Instagram. So that's kind of I thought more of the local sponsorship. Florida State players the first day were at Miller's Ale House signing autographs. I think it was the Iowa State player or Iowa player was at a fireworks shop that first weekend. That kind of stuff, that's cool, and I expected that. But now we're getting into the realm of, if this stuff happened with the MMA deal and paying an entire team the way Dan Lambert is, $500 a month, back 20 years ago, oh my God, this is like Nevin Shapiro 2.0.
Yeah.
Except for Nevin Shapiro is going to jail. Dan Lambert is thought of someone who's going to help turn the program around. So it's really bizarre times, but I'm very happy for these kids.
I wonder where's Uncle Luther? You know what I mean? I mean, it's time for to get him back in here. And the interesting thing about the Lambert deal down there is, first of all, he's a big-time booster of the program. So there's that. Right. I mean, immediately you start thinking, wait a minute, booster, and then how does this look to kids around the state of Florida when they say, well, wait, if I go to Miami as opposed to Florida, I know that there's a $500 a month check waiting for me off the bat, but $500 a month, that would cost about $540,000 for the year for all the scholarship players. But if Lambert is able to rally other businessmen and Miami Hurricanes supporters around the state and around Miami, where there's a huge amount of money, to put money into this Bring Back the Youth fund, that $500 a month might be $2,000 a month, right? Yep. I mean, it could be easily some pretty serious money quickly if they can build that fund up a little bit. And I could see him raising $2 or $3 million a year, and now it becomes $2,000 or $3,000 a month for the players.
Well, and here's the thing too, Tom, is yes, you're exactly right. And your De'Aaron Kings, and your Bo Nixes and your Malachi Moores, they're going to get theirs. I mean, they're not, that extra $5. That's just extra because I think De'Aaron King and Bubba Bolden down here through college chunks, moving your junk moving company are getting $20,000 each. Yeah. So to them, this is great. This is icing on the cake. But if every kid who signs, so if you're, if you're a 4-star and you can help this team as a backup linebacker, you might have thought of going. It could push you to a team like Miami, and you start getting a bunch of kids like that. Now you're adding to your roster. You're adding depth to your roster. I mean, I don't think the 500 is going to get you the one of the top 50 players in the country. Those guys figure they're going to get some kind of sponsorship deal anyway. But it might just, think of how it could really, lengthen a roster and strengthen your depth and get these kids who otherwise might not go to a Miami, might come now and be just, a starting interior defensive lineman who is just a 3-star but can really help you. I'm going to go to Miami and pick up my extra couple $1,000s a month that's guaranteed as soon as I sign on that dotted line.
Now, with a football team, we're talking about 90 scholarship guys there. With a basketball team, we're talking about 15. So each of these guys become worth a lot more. But having said that, I mean, this kid, this Tennessee State kid up here, Hershey Miller. I mean, I know he's Masterpiece Kid. I mean, if he's not Masterpiece Kid, this doesn't happen. But $2 million for a mid-major guard that's 6'1", that had one or two offers in the SEC and around the country. I mean, this is kind of nutty. $2 million.
Well, that's the unintended consequence that I don't like, and obviously that the company is playing to his father's name. He's not benefiting off his name, image, and likeness. He's benefiting off his father's name, image, and likeness.
Right.
Now, off the top of the head, it sounds disgusting. Well, this guy's worth $200 million, and his son's going to get $2 million. When how many other kids in that program, and not just basketball players, anywhere else? For this to work out the way we want to see it work, and for this to help that program, I want to see a lot of that money going to his teammates, going to kids in other sports. I don't know if it's going to happen. There was a story out there that makes it sound like, okay, maybe he's thinking the right way. He's contributing to paying for a whole bunch of goodie bags and swag for a bunch of campers going into a camp that his dad's putting out. So that's a good start. Now let's see where the rest of it goes. If it starts going into the Miller, the bank account, and he just starts adding on to his family's wealth and fortune, then this is not what you want to see this happen. But you know what, Tom? This is in everything you have. There are going to be these unintended consequences we didn't see are going to happen, and things are going to have to be smoothed out. The only problem is the people in charge of this is an NCAA that has no clue what's going on. I mean, they're not going to figure it out. So these universities, and there's going to have to be some uniform rules over the years, and you're going to probably see this evolve, where it's kind of they're going to reel in some of these things, and they're going to put maybe caps and limits, which I think, though, would go to the courts. I don't know if they can cap or limit the money you can make, but there's going to be something going on where they're going to have to figure out how to make sure this doesn't become just out of control.
Well, all of these deals are supposed to be vetted through the school, too, and they happen so quickly.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out, like this, and there's a little bit of a conflict of interest there. Like, did Lambert is a big booster. Now, did this thing get approved by the school? And if so,
it did.
Well, okay, so let's say it did. And then he's also looking to raise money with other, businesses jumping in on this, to use back program. But ultimately, how much money is there to go around? Does this not take some of this money being redirected, money that boosters have been giving to the college, now giving directly to the kids? The cynic would say, well, they would give it to the college and the college would give it to the kids. But the reality is, at some point in time, I wonder, does this hurt the coffers at the universities at all when their boosters start spending big-time bucks on kids?
And not giving it to the university? Well, I think you have – I think there is a separation there. I think there are boosters who just – they don't even know the name of the football coach, and they're direct, and their money's going to the university and the library and the labs and all that. And then I think there's obviously throughout history, there's been the boosters who are all they care about is athletics, and they've been handing out money from the start of time since athletics started, mostly illegally. Now they can do it, and he's shown that. I don't see how one penny of this is helping his MMA gyms. He's getting these guys anyway. Right. They're coming in here and they're training. How is this helping him? I guess you have to make it look like it's a sponsorship by saying to each kid, okay, tweet when you tweet, make sure you mention my MMA gym. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll get $500 a month for that. It's clearly he's just helping recruiting, but that's the thing, though. That's what this is all about. Boosters can do that. Rich people can do this. I'm shocked there's not more of these, and I'll be very surprised if there aren't. That rich guys who own you always hear about the cliche is the automobile dealership. These guys have a lot of money. They're just going to why is an automobile dealership in Tuscaloosa going to give every player $1,000 a month because he's worth $6 billion, and say just make sure you tweet Bill Smith Oldsmobile every time you mention. You throw out a tweet or an Instagram post or something,
which would run in
I'm sure.
Which would be in conflict with Nick Saban's Mercedes dealerships. So that would be they will not have a deal with Mercedes. I'm pretty sure that it won't work out that way.
Well, Nike, look at how Nike's already circumvented. Nike's not supposed to. These apparel and athletic companies who sponsor teams are not allowed to directly sponsor players. But Nike's already gotten around it because the best player at Oregon, has done an NFT with Nike for artwork through the Nike's designer, and he's going to make six figures off this. They said right now he's the top defensive end in the country. So they've found a way. Nike has already found a way. Phil Knight has already found a way to pay some of these Oregon kids. You don't think there's going to be other Oregon kids making money from Nike? Well, and how much money could they make from Nike?
Well, think about it too. Going back to the Hershey Miller deal, I mean, how are they going to? They're going to get $2 million worth of value out of what it is? It's a web-based apps company. You think they're really going to get $2 million worth of? Now, the flip side of it is, I never heard of that company, and everybody across the country has been talking about this deal. Oh my gosh, and this web-based app company. So maybe they got their $2 million by having the whole sports media and national media retweeting it, talking about it, and everything else. I mean, they've been on the tip of people's tongues for the better part of 3 or 4 days as people have talked about it. So maybe they're crazy like a fox.
That's exactly exactly right, and that is why the first minute we saw people scrambling to get their names out there to say, "Hey, we signed a deal with." With Bo Nix and Milos and all these companies, PetSmart, with the kid from Arkansas, every one of them got out there right away to get. That's all everybody talked about. Now, I think it's going to come down in 2 months. If the quarterback, at Texas Tech signs a deal with some barbecues in Lubbock, is it going to be national news? Probably not. But that's so. But everybody got out in front of that because every single deal that was signed within the first week. And I thought Dan Lambert's strategy was brilliant. You got the typical deals coming out. There were a few crazy ones, and there were some very interesting ones. And then a week later, boom, he comes out with something that no one has done, and that becomes the absolute. His $540,000 this year of advertisement he's already spent. He already probably received triple that just from the way he handled it and where he put in the timing of the deal. But again, is that going to be the case? And are these companies going to be as willing to be spending all this money in 6 months when it just becomes a blurb in the local media and not something that's national?
Tom D'Angelo with us here from the Palm Beach Post talking about the impacts of the NIL. We've seen guys doing jersey deals and they can cut the school back in. I know in the state of Alabama they can go ahead and do a deal and you can't use it without permission, the school logo, right. But the school can give you permission and they'll get a cut and to continue to make some money off of that. The white whale out there still is the video game things. At what point in time does EA Sports, which has already announced they're going to be bringing it back in 2 years, I guess it is, but do they do a deal with every player in college football similar to the NFL apparel deals and the properties deals and Major League Baseball property deals where everybody gets 2% and they put it in a pot and they split it up amongst everybody and it turns out to be $80,000 or $90,000 a year. But you got to figure at some point in time something like that with the video game, and then a percentage of that money will go into a pot that goes to every kid that's in the game.
I would think there'd be a huge immediate impact and splash off something like that. How long it will last? It depends how long that is a popular thing for these college kids. But with the age they're dealing with, that could be huge, and that would be and that's good with me because if that is spread out and the kid from Southern Miss is getting the same amount as the kids from Alabama, and it's everybody, that's great. But if they start just cherry picking schools, and this is where this is. And you hear the term Wild Wild West. That the recruiting advantages some schools could make off of this. that's where you would start having issues, because now you're really separating the haves from the have-nots, and there's going to be a huge division. If it's going to be worse, and it is pretty bad now, as we know in college football. Between the elite and the nuts, so the teams below that, that could even make it even wider. But that's coming, and there's something out there we're not even thinking about is coming. There are so many people out there thinking, how can we do a benefit off this by getting the kids involved, by paying some kids, and there's going to be other things that we're not even thinking about. And these kids are smart. These kids might have gotten ahead of the curve and have thought about things and are contacting their so-called, marketing lawyers.
Yeah, right.
Supposed to be helping them with their future. There's no telling where it can go.
All right, final thing on the game itself, and I'm gonna run you down again, before we actually get to game day in September. But
yeah,
I mean, De'Aaron King. I mean, really? I mean, NIL is one thing, young man, but I mean, to just throw it out there, unless it was a sponsored post. Maybe you got a lot of money to make that post. I don't know. But I mean, for him to just go out there and say it ain't even going to be close, we're gonna hammer him.
I think he's right. I don't think it's going to be close. He may have the wrong side.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be improved. They're going to be improved. I'm a Manny Diaz fan. Manny was the defensive coordinator at Middle Tennessee when I was on their broadcast team, and he also offered my son a job. My son was on the staff there, and he offered him a graduate assistant job at Mississippi State. I love Manny. I mean, I think Manny's great people, and I think he's going to get it really going. But I don't understand his quarterback coming out and saying that they're going to whack Alabama. It doesn't make sense.
And I don't think he probably took too kindly to that, too. And when he's asked about that in 2 weeks at ACC Media Days, I don't think he's going to be very happy to give that answer, and probably going to be expecting that question. But Miami's going to be improved. I don't think they're never mind the best team in the ACC. I don't think they're the best team in the Coastal Division of the ACC. But he's definitely got it. It was a rough first year. And he came across some things he didn't expect. There were so many issues inside that program. And I thought he did a really good job the second year getting it back on track. Because that first year was the way it ended was a disaster, losing to FIU.
I thought he was going to get blown out. I was afraid he wasn't going to survive it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and they get crushed, losing the bowl game. Last 3 in a row at the end of the game was the FIU in Louisiana Tech. So that was rough. Last year was going pretty good, and so last year is such a just a anomaly for everybody. Who each game you don't even know who's available, and they got absolutely. I have never seen as one side of the game as their game against North Carolina, and they were having a decent year until that game. But he got it back on track, and De'Aaron King was a big reason for that. So are they capable of blowing out Alabama? No. Are they capable of beating them? I don't think so. Maybe keeping it close to 3 quarters, but I don't think they're going to win that game, and it's probably not going to be. It's going to probably be a double-digit game, but that doesn't mean that they won't have improved this year. And I think moving forward, they'll have a pretty good year, and they'll take another step. Beyond that, now they're going to have to replace De'Aaron King, and there's going to be things to do to take it to that next level. But I think he'll get it there. I don't think they're going to be the elite program they were, winning championship after championship. But at least here's the thing, Tom. Here's one of the biggest things: is Miami has never even won an ACC title in 17 years.
Isn't that crazy? That's absolutely amazing.
That is the biggest. I don't know. It's just the most bizarre and unexplained story in college football to me in the last 2 decades. When they came in the ACC, they put Miami and Florida State in opposite divisions because they first saw Miami, 2 teams in the top 10 in a big-time championship game, and Miami's been there once, and the one time they were there, they lost. They got blown out by Clemson. They lost, 38-3 or something.
Now it seems so long ago now that, it was year in and year out that there were years where Florida, Miami, and Florida State were all in top 5. If not the top 10, all in the top. It was just year after year like that. But I'll give you one other one that's crazy. Tennessee. Tennessee hasn't beaten a top 10 team in 15 years. Not even one win against a top 10 team in 15 years. So, Tennessee and Miami, 2 glorious programs.
Yeah. I think Miami is the most underachieving and disappointing program in the last 15 years in all of college football. I don't think that Texas at least won a championship here and there. in the 2000s they won a title, and some of these Nebraska has fallen off, but Miami, being in the they're brought into this conference to specifically get to the championship game every year, and just increase the brand of this conference and the image and the profile of the ACC, and they've done nothing of the sort. So they got the Miami fan is a different fan, and there's always that the swagger is always there, and they always think that the next year they're there. So they will. I think it's going to take. So Manny Diaz probably is the guy that can at least get them back close to that level.
Always a pleasure, man. Haven't caught up with Tom D'Angelo in a while. Great guest, Tommy. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Tom. Anytime.
All right.
Pleasure.
Tom D'Angelo. 18 points is a lot. They could get a late, backdoor cover out of that deal. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and wrap it up next. It's the Tom Abraham Show on Football Friday, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Saddle Up for St. Jude Trail Riding Concert is July 15th, 16th, and 17th. And the 25th year is going to be the biggest ever. Thursday, July 15th, Shenandoah. Friday, July 16th, T. Graham Brown. And Saturday, July 17th, the legendary Clint Black. Every night is a Saturday night and everything's right. 22 #1 hits. Over 20 million records sold. It won't be long before my ship comes in. Here I come. Saddle Up for St. Jude, July 15th, 16th, and 17th at Gardner Farm in Tuscumbia. Get your tickets now at Eventbrite and saddleupforkids.org. That's saddleup4kids.org for tickets and a complete weekend schedule.
Switching season is back at WOW. Get super fast, extra reliable Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, ask how to get $200 on us. Sign up at Wowie.com today. Wow. Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Get more out of summer with savings on appliances to simplify and streamline during the Home Depot's 4th of July savings in-store and online. Right now, you'll save a bundle on top appliances like this Samsung laundry pair. Celebrate summer with a laundry upgrade during 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last. Free delivery on purchases of $396 or more. Valid through July 14th.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
The game's on. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll be right there.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows. Football, tennis, hockey, golf. The game is starting. Everyone is here. I got my snacks, my friends, and a beer.
So I'm going to watch it on TV. So I'm going to watch it on TV. So I'm going to watch it on TV.
And welcome back. Final segment of the week for us. And what to watch on TV tonight is brought to you by the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Let me tell you something. That field drains really well. Okay? Don't say you're not going to the game yet. Fireworks night tonight. You got fireworks tomorrow too. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. And then Sunday, how about the Sprocket bobblehead for the first 1,500 kids 17 and under? Brought to you by Lexus of Huntsville. So it's going to be a big weekend, and of course the kids always run the bases on Sunday games after the game. So fireworks tonight, fireworks tomorrow night, and bobblehead Sprocket bobblehead day is coming up on Sunday. So big weekend for the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And to reset our poll question, what we said is that look, I don't know what you're going to watch if you're watching anything this weekend. I'm watching a lot of this. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm watching a lot of that. Can you see it, Grizz? I don't know if you can see it in the studio. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. See what's on the TV
I can see
there?
it. A lot of fishing.
A lot of
fishing.
I've been on the show already.
The setup over the fireplace. That's nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Those are, let's see, right underneath the TV there is a hockey stick that the Nashville Predators gave me when I left Nashville that's signed by all the players. Dale Earnhardt up there to the right of the TV. I don't know if you can see that.
I see the Intimidator.
Yeah, there's the Intimidator. Forrest Wood to the left of the TV. He's over there. That's for the great Forrest Wood. He's the founder of Ranger Boats. That's the great Vince Lombardi up atop, my favorite NFL head coach ever. And then on the mantle there above the fireplace, those are Air Awards for the best show in Nashville, best host in Nashville, things like that. And there's one time I went in that Abbey thing.
Yeah.
I was in that one time, won that. The microphone thing, won that in Florida for the show. So there's just awards and stuff.
I'm holding a hockey stick that one Wolverine Dan gave us.
Yeah.
Signed by all the Huntsville Havoc players. I think
Very
it's from
cool.
a few years ago. I've
We got
got
some good swag
Billy
in there.
Neighbors behind me. I've got Chuck. You could cover Chuck. Never mind. I don't have Chuck anymore behind me.
Is Billy behind you now?
Billy Neighbors is behind me. I guess it got moved from the office.
Did we get rid of Chuck?
No, we still have Chuck.
The Chuck was annoying. All right, so there's Billy. Yeah, I
we
saw
got
Billy
Billy
just
Neighbors.
going by there.
We got
But
Chipper
it's good.
Jones. You poster from Drew when he was like 12.
And you got a hologram of Steve Moulton, I see, moving around back there. That's kind of cool. It's like a little hologram of
That's
Steve.
new technology we have around here. We couldn't get a computer, but we have the hologram technology.
So the question was, if you're going to watch sports this weekend, what are you most interested in? And the poll ends in 2 minutes. The NBA Finals got 34% of the vote. MLB baseball got 26%. Euro Soccer Final. Go Italy!
Let's go.
Come on, Italy!
Forza Italia.
22% for Azure to win the game over England. And NASCAR got 17%. Big day for Italians on Sunday because you got an Italian kid going for the win at Wimbledon for the first time since ever. And then you got the soccer final. All of that's happening in London. Wembley Stadium for the Euro final as the Italians will beat England there. I do not think that the Italian kid's going to beat Djokovic in the Wimbledon final. All right, that's going to do it for us. Chuck Oliver is next, and this is